ሰላም ሰላም የጤና ፒዲያ ኔክሌክስ ቤተሰቦች እንዴት ናችሁ? እንደሚታወቀው ለሁለተኛ ዙር ለኔክሌክስ ትሬኒንግ ስልጠና ምዝገባ መጀመራችን ይታወቃል። መሰልጠን የምትፈልጉ ስልጠናው የሚሆነው በኦንላይን እንዲሁም በአካል ሲሆን በኦንላይን መሰልጠን ለምትፈልጉ በጤና ፒዲያ ቴሌግራም ቻናል ወይም ደግሞ እዚህ ስክሪን ላይ በምትመለከቱት ስልክ ቁጥር መደወል ትችላላችሁ። እንዲሁም በአካል መሰልጠን ለምትፈልጉ ጀሞ አንድነት ዲ ህንጻ ቢሮ ቁጥር 407 እንዲሁም መካኒሳ አካባቢ በሚገኘው ትሬኒንግ ሴንተራችን ላይ ስልጠናውን የምንሰጥ ይሆናል። መሰልጠን የምትፈልጉ ሰዎች መመዝገብ ትችላላችሁ። እንዲሁም ይህን ቪዲዮ ከመጀመራችን በፊት የጤና ፒዲያ ቤተሰብ ያልሆናችሁ ቤተሰቦች የቻናሉን ሰብስክራይብ በማድረግ ይህን ቪዲዮ ለብዙዎች የሚጠቅም ስለሆነ ሼር በማድረግ እንዲሁም ያላችሁን አስተያየት ኮመንት ላይ በማስቀመጥ እንድትጀምሩ ስል በትህትና ጠይቃለሁ። ዛሬ ይዤላችሁ የመጣሁት ብዙ ጊዜ ኔክሌክስ ላይ ሜዲካል ሰርጂካል ፓርት ላይ ካርዲዮቫስኩላር ላይ የሚጠየቁ ጥያቄዎችንና የጥያቄ አመላለስ ስትራቴጂ እንዲሁም አንዳንድ ፖይንቶችን የምናነሳ ይሆናል። የመጀመሪያው ጥያቄ A client is admitted with acute decompensated heart failure and is receiving IV furosemide or Lasix. 1 hour after the dose, the client reports dizziness. The nurse assesses a blood pressure of 88/50 and heart rate of 118 beat per minute and respiration of 22 per minute. The telemetry monitor shows sinus tachycardia. Which action should the nurse take first? A. Slow the IV infusion rate. B. Administer 250 ml bolus of 0.9 sodium chloride or NS. C. Place the client in a supine position with legs elevated. D. Check the client's most recent serum potassium. The answer is C. You have to place the client in a supine position with legs elevated. ለምን ሲሆነ ሌሎቹ ለምን አልሆኑም? We will discuss because as you know the client symptom is እዚህ ጋር እንደተጠቀሰው there is a dizziness አለው and hypotensive ነው and again there is a tachycardia which indicates that the patient is in hypovolemic state. So hypovolemia እንዳለው ያሳየናል. Both the dizziness, hypotension and tachycardia shows us that the patient is in hypovolemia, which is likely from the rapid diuresis caused by IV furosemide. So sometimes some of the things that we notice after giving IV furosemide is patient might have a rapid diuresis, which again makes the patient to become in hypovolemic state. So the first action should be to improve cerebral and cardiac perfusion immediately through positioning. So placing the client supine with legs elevated uses gravity to auto-transfuse blood from the lower extremity back to the core of the circulation, which can quickly stabilize blood pressure and relieve dizziness. So what we have to do first is to place the patient in a supine position with legs elevated, which again in return helps us return the blood circulation back to the core. So we need to replace cerebral and cardiac perfusion first before doing anything. So as you know, the A says slow IV infusion rate. It's incorrect because diuresis has already been administered. So slowing the IV infusion rate will not address the current hypotensive crisis. So that's not the thing that we are looking for. So A is incorrect. B is not only incorrect. Administering bolus 250 fluid, not only incorrect, it's dangerous because administering a fluid bolus is contraindicated in a client with acute decompensated heart failure, as it could worsen pulmonary congestion and precipitate pulmonary edema, right? So the patient is already in a decompensated heart failure, so giving giving bolus fluid will exacerbate the situation. So we should not only the answer is not only incorrect, it's dangerous for our patient. D, It says check the client's most recent serum potassium level is incorrect again because while hypokalemia is a concern with loop diuretics, of course giving furosemide, Lasix or loop diuretics will cause hypokalemia. It's not an immediate and life-threatening issue, right? Life-threatening issue አይደለም። at this point የሚያስጨንቀን ሃይፖካሊሚያው ሳይሆን our concern more ስለ ሃይፖቴንሲቭ ስቴቱ ስለሆነ ሃይፖካሊሚያ of course it's a concern ትክክል ነው። ግን ኢሚዲየትሊ አዘ እንደ ኢመርጀንሲ አሁን ላይ የሚያሳስበን ኢሹ ስላልሆነ we will pass that ማለት ነው። so slow IV infusion is not our first action again. So our first action should be to put the patient with legs elevated. So ወደ ብሬን እንዲሁም ደግሞ ወደ ልብ የሚሄደውን ሰርኩሌሽን ነው መመለስ ያለብን። ይሄም which is caused by በዳዩሬሲስ ምክንያት ሰው ዳዩሬቲክ ሲሰጠው ብዙ ፍሉድ ሉዝ ስላደረገ አይቪ ዳዩሬሲስ ሲሰጠው ያንን ነው ሪፕሌስ ማድረግ ያለብን for a moment or ደግሞ as an emergency። ከዛ በኋላ ያሉትን አክሽኖች ሌሎች ላይክ እንደ ሃይፖካሊሚያ ያሉ ነገሮች ትሪት ይደረጋሉ but priority should be given ወደ አምሮ ለሚሄደው perfusion እንዲሁም ደግሞ ወደ ልብ ለሚሄደው perfusion priority ልንሰጥ ይገባል። okay, the second question, a nurse is caring for a client with a history of myocardial infarction who is scheduled for cardiac catheterization via right femoral artery. Prior to the procedure, the client takes metformin, aspirin, and atorvastatin. Which client statement indicates the need for immediate follow-up by the nurse? ነው ብዙ ኮንሰርኖች ቢኖሩም አሁን ግን immediately follow-up የሚፈልገው የትኛው ስቴትመንት ነው? A, I am allergic to iodine and shellfish. B, I took my metformin with a small sip of water this morning. C, my right groin has a small tender lump from my catheterization last year. D, I have been taking aspirin 81 milligram daily for the past 5 years. መልሱ የሚሆነው B ነው። B, I took my metformin with a small sip of water this morning. ለምን መልሱ B ሆነ is the question. Yes, so this question tests our knowledge of critical pre-procedure protocols, specifically for medications that interact with contrast dye. So this is very important. So metformin must be held prior to and after any procedure involving iodinated contrast dyes. Metformin we have to hold due to high risk of contrast induced nephropathy. So metformin የሚወስዱ patients will have high risk of developing contrast induced nephropathy ስለሚያመጣ metformin hold ማድረግ አለብን while we use iodinated contrast dye. So it's very important to know the metformin in contrast dye effect on causing nephropathy. So lemon alone, I am allergic to iodine and shellfish ብሏል. Of course it's a concern, it's very important. But as it indicates a possible iodine or contrast allergy, but it is expected information that the team with pre-medicated with antihistamines and steroid. So ይሄ ፕሪሜዲኬት የሚያደርጉ ሰዎች ቲም የሚጠይቀው ነገር ስለሆነ ብዙም ለነርሱ ወይ ለነርሷ ኢምፖርታንት ኮንሰርን ላይሆን ይችላል። although it's a thing we should consider. It's a thing that we should consider. It's a thing that we should consider. So antihistamine, it does not require immediate action as the same way as potentially dangerous medication errors. C again, my right groin has a small tender lump from catheterization last year. It's important. C is relevant as it indicates potential for vascular complication, but it is not an immediate safety threat and will be assessed by procedural team. So though it's relevant ቢሆንም ግን immediate threat አይደለም. Again, I have been taking aspirin 81 milligram daily for the past 5 years. It is expected for a client with MI history, aspirin is often continued, but the decision is made by the provider, not by the nurse. So the most important thing in this question is that immediate follow-up, that needs immediate follow-up by the nurse. እዚህ ጋር የሚፈልገው ሜትፎርሚን ነው። ሜትፎርሚን with contrast ዳይ ያለውን side effect ማወቅ ያስፈልጋል። The other question is, a client with an automatic implantable cardioverter defibrillator or AICD is on a cardiac telemetry unit. Suddenly, the monitor shows a rapid, wide complex ventricular tachycardia at rate of 220 per minute. The client cries out and the nurse observes a single jerking motion of client's body. The telemetry rhythm then converts to a normal sinus rhythm. The client is alert but frightened. What is the nurse priority nursing action? A. Assess the client's airway, breathing, and circulation. B. Administer a prescribed PRN IV dose of amiodarone. C. Place a magnet over AICD to disable the defibrillation function. D. Provide emotional support and explain that AICD works as intended. The answer is A. So this question tests the application of nursing process assessment first. So remember, as we know, there are nursing processes, right? So one of the nursing process is assessment. So assessment first, even in the scenario where device are successfully treated as dysarrhythmia, assessment is first. The client received electrical shock from AICD while the rhythm has converted. The nurse must first ensure the client is stable from the event. So airway, breathing, circulation ነው መጀመሪያ ነርሱ ወይ ነርሷ ቼክ ማድረግ ያለባቸው before doing anything. assessment መጀመሪያ ስለሆነ ማለት and are always priority ነው ቅድሚያ የሚሰጠው ነገር ነው. The nurse should assess vital signs, level of consciousness, and the client's overall physiologic status of post-shock. So this is very important. So the assessment is first in nursing process. ይህን ማወቅ ያስፈልጋል. Why not the others? B is incorrect. B. Administer prescribed PRN IV dose of amiodarone because dysarrhythmia has been terminated. Administering antiarrhythmic is not indicated at this moment without a few order or further assessments as well. We don't give antiarrhythmic. So B is incorrect. Why is C incorrect? Because place a magnet over AICD and disable defibrillation function. It's dangerous. Placing a magnet over AICD typically suspends tachycardia therapy. It does not turn it off. This action is not indicated because the device has already been successfully treated the life-threatening rhythm. So disabling it could be fatal. So it's dangerous. Placing a magnet around the ICD, but dangerous, no? It should not be tried. The other one is provide emotional support. This is funny. This is not emotional support comes later. So here we have an emergency in nursing. According to nursing process, assessment should be the first thing to consider in this question. You can read the next tips that we are providing on Genapedia. So remember, የስልጠና ለሁለተኛ ዙር የጤናፔዲያ ለኔክሌክስ ትሬኒንግ እየሰጠ እንዳለን ድጋሚ ሪማይንድ ላርጋችሁ ብዬ ነው. The other question is a client with infective endocarditis of tricuspid valve is prescribed IV gentamicin and nafcillin. The nurse should monitor for which early sign of gentamicin toxicity. Gentamicin, the most commonly asked question, NCLEX. And the drug side effects should be always notice ማድረግ ካሉብን ማንበብ ካሉብን ድረጎች መካከል IV gentamicin አንዱ ነው. So tinnitus and high frequency hearing loss, T-colored urine, a rise in BUA and creatinine level, ataxia and dizziness. The answer is A. Tinnitus and high frequency hearing loss. Gentamicin is an aminoglycoside antibiotic ነው ይታወቃል. And it is very known for its ototoxic. Auto means ear. So ototoxic and nephro means kidney. Nephrotoxic effect እንዳለው ይታወቃል. So ototoxicity, damage to 8th nerve, cranial nerve affect ስለሚያደርግ is often it's an early and sometimes irreversible sign of toxicity ነው የጀንታማይሲን and gentamicin is a common theme in UWorld ኔክሌክስ ላይ ብዙ ጊዜ የሚታይ ጥያቄ ነው so it's very important to consider gentamicin side effect to read gentamicin side effects T-colored urine B ላይ ያለው is a sign of rhabdomyolysis or hemolysis not specific to gentamicin. C rise in B1 and creatinine indicates nephrotoxicity which is also a major side effect of gentamicin. However, ototoxicity often presents before a significant rise of serum creatinine is detected. So nephrotoxic ነው gentamicin. So B1 እና creatinine raise ያደርጋል. The difference is that we see ototoxicity before nephrotoxic side effects. So ototoxicity ስለሚቀድም we should consider ototoxicity and hearing loss before nephrotoxicity. The last question is the nurse is reviewing a laboratory results for a client receiving a continuous heparin infusion for a pulmonary embolism. Heparin infusion for pulmonary. The client activated APTT is 98 seconds. Therapeutic range is given 60 to 80 seconds. The client has no active bleeding. What action should the nurse anticipate? A. Increasing heparin infusion rate per protocol, which is wrong. B. Stopping the heparin infusion for now 1 hour and restarting with lower rate could be the answer. And it is also the answer. C. Continuing the current infusion rate and checking the APTT in 6 hours. No. D. Administering protamine sulfate antidote as antidote. No. So things to learn here. So the question tests our understanding of managing anticoagulant therapy and interpreting lab values. So ቴስት የሚያደርገው ይሄንን ስለሆነ የላብ ቫልዩን እንዴት ኢንተርፕሬት ያደርጉታል እንዲሁም ደግሞ አንቲኮአጉላንት ቴራፒ እንዴት ማኔጅ ያደርጉታል የሚለውን የእውቀታችንን ሜጀር ለማድረግ የመጣ ጥያቄ ስለሆነ an APTT of 98 second is significantly above the therapeutic range because the therapeutic range is given and it's between 60 and 80. So it indicates high risk of bleeding. Standard protocol for supratherapeutic APTT ሲመጣብን standard protocol in a client without active bleeding. Typically, it's holding the infusion for a short period like 30 to 60 minutes and then restarting it at a decreased rate. This allows the anticoagulant effect to diminish slightly back to therapeutic range. So this is a protocol for patient without active bleeding. Imagine that you have to know we given no sign of active bleeding ብሎናል so active bleeding ቢኖር ኖሮ we might consider giving protamine sulfate so patient active bleeding የለውም the only objective evidence ነው ያለን supratherapeutic range ላይ እንዳለን APTT ያችን ምንድነው ፕሮቶኮሉ ማድረግ ያለብን we should hold the infusion for 1 hour then restart it after 1 hour with slow rate ማለት ነው this is for patient who does not have a bleeding so it is incorrect because as increasing rate would further elevate APTT and drastically increase bleeding rate ፍጹም ተቃራኒ የሆነውን ነገር ነው አድርጉ ቢለን it's not right C is incorrect because continuing the current rate ignores the critical lab values and puts the client at unnecessary risk ውስጥ ይከተዋል ፔሸንታችንን so action must be taken to correct the supratherapeutic range D is incorrect so protamine sulfate is an antidote for heparin but it is served for cases of severe overdose or life-threatening bleeding ሲኖር ብቻ ነው ምንጠቀመው antidote so no bleeding we don't use protamine sulfate so the correct answer is holding or stopping infusion for 1 hour and restarting is with low rate is very important so የዛሬ ለካርዲዮቫስኩላር ፓርት ዋልያዝን ኩላችሁ ጥያቄዎች እነዚህን ይመስላሉ so ቀደም እንዳልኳችሁ በለኔክሌክስ በጤናፔዲያ ኔክሌክስ ለሁለተኛ ዙር ስልጠና እየሰጠ እንዳለ ይታወቃል። ሰው ውጭ ሀገር የምትኖሩም ሀገር ውስጥም ላላችሁም ስልጠናው በኦንላይን እንዲሁም በአካል እየተሰጠ ይገኛል። ከታች ባሉ ስልክ ቁጥር በመደወል መሰልጠን ትችላላችሁ። ቴንክ ዩ ሶ ማች